Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil because some people really are kind of that special kind of stupid where they have to ask random people on the internet if they are very much in the wrong, when unfortunately they're the only ones questioning if they are actually in the wrong. Everybody else just unanimously says yeah. So if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout or click the link down below. It will apply it automatically to your transaction and it helps support the channel. I, 33M, might throw away the perfect girlfriend, 25F. Am I making the biggest mistake of my life? Hey friends, I am 33M, who has spent most of my adult life in relationships. Very long ones, short ones. I've never been single for more than a few months. I have serious attachment issues, and every breakup hits me like a ton of bricks. I idealize my exes, dive straight into hardcore dating, and end up in a new relationship before I even process the last one. While in a relationship, I always feel stuck between wanting to stay and wishing I were single again, FOMO. My life right now. Last year, I finally made a lifelong dream come true. I quit my job and started traveling the world. It's been amazing, but as much as I love this freedom, I can't ignore the internal pressure to settle down and start a family. I've always wanted 2 kids before 35, and while I could stretch that goal a little, I don't want to wait until I'm 40. The relationship. I met my current girlfriend, 25F, earlier this year. She's from a third world country, 8 years younger than me, and before anyone assumes anything, this isn't some passport bro situation. She never had plans to leave her country, and I wasn't looking for a relationship or dating girls in that place. I just happened pretty randomly. I'm 100% sure that she's genuine. Things escalated when we had a pregnancy scare. That experience really deepened my feelings for her. And after that, we traveled together for a few months. We got along great. She's back in her home country now, and I'm in mine. The plan is to meet up for another trip soon, after which she'll visit my country to see that if she could imagine living here. If she likes it, the next step would be marriage, and her relocating permanently. But here's the thing. Visas, travel, relocation are expensive. Within the next few weeks, I have to decide if I want to continue with this relationship or not. And I'm struggling. I feel like this could easily be the most important decision of my life. The pros. She loves me deeply. Probably more than anyone I've ever been with. She's kind, compassionate, and has a big heart. She loves animals and people unconditionally. She is fully committed to me and would give up everything to make this work. Our life is incredible, the best I've ever had, and our libidos match perfectly. She brings positive energy into my life, motivates me, and makes me enjoy the moment. She wants a family soon. We share the same values and belief, which I found pretty rare these days. She is willing to travel with me for another 1 to 2 years, and is able to work remotely. She is down to earth and easygoing. On paper, she's better than all of my exes before. I have a very high standards, and she ticks almost all of the boxes. Except, see below, the cons. She doesn't earn much money, so I'll have to cover most of the costs. Her travel, her move to my country, and probably a large portion of our life together. Even if she finds work here, it won't be well paid, and our finances will always be tight. I'm worried she won't be happy in my country. She doesn't speak the language. It's a tough one. Has no friends here, and our cultures are complete opposite. Integrating will be a major challenge. While I find her attractive, she's not the most beautiful woman I've ever dated. My ex was more physically attractive, and that, though, remains bothering me a lot. I don't like her native culture too much. The food is average, most people are just after the money, and I don't want to spend my life traveling there every year. She's very young and inexperienced. Sometimes I feel more like her mentor or parent than her equal. That said, she's very smart for her age, and eager to learn. Communication is tricky. She avoids conflicts and often says yes, even when she means no. This will take time and effort to improve. She's jealous and insecure. It's her first relationship, and there is a steep learning curve for both of us. The dilemma. On one hand, I feel like this is the one. She's everything I've prayed for over the years. It would be crazy to let her go just because I'm chasing some stupid fantasy of someone better. If I continue behaving like this, I will never be happy, because there's always someone better. But, on the other hand, this might be my last chance to travel the world solo, have my time of my life, save money, and possibly meet someone local without all of the complications I really don't fancy. So my question is, how do I figure out if my doubts are just fear of commitment? Do I really love her enough to spend the rest of my life with her? How can I know? This decision feels massive, and I don't want to mess it up. I'd appreciate any advice. Thanks for reading. Yes, the libidos match perfectly, but she has a hard time saying no and just says yes instead. I'll tell you this right now, from you stating at the beginning that you jump from relationship to relationship and haven't been single for a longer month, you might want to just try to break that cycle and maybe learn to be happy with yourself. That might be something good, instead of jumping into a relationship that will only be short-term because you are only looking for something to mask some other type of thing that is upsetting you. Am I the a-hole for asking my aunt to kick her daughter out? I, 35, was born out of wedlock. My mother tracked my father down and dropped me at his doorstep when I was 15 and never returned. My father rejected me, so his stepsister took me in and raised me. She also has a daughter, Kate, who's 30. I was a difficult child and got pregnant at 16, but I'm better now. Kate got married 2 years ago. She got pregnant after. When her baby was 4 months old, my aunt insisted that she and her husband move in with us so that she can keep up with the baby, as both of them have very demanding jobs. I also got married a year ago to my baby daddy and got pregnant. I and my husband are struggling financially, as we are both unemployed, so I asked my aunt if I can move back in with my first son so she can assist me, which she agreed to. I had my baby a month ago, but still feel like my aunt because she pays for anything and first son's school fees, and want my husband's finances to improve before we leave. The problem is that Kate does not do anything at home. She works at home from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Her husband also works long hours. Kate wakes up, brings her son to my aunt, and locks herself up until 1. She gets an hour break, plays with her son, eats lunch, video calls her husband, and then goes back to work. She only cooks dinner, and only for herself, her son, and her husband, as she doesn't eat with us. My aunt either makes breakfast and lunch, or I cook. Then she goes to serve Kate in her home office. My aunt practically does everything for her in terms of childcare and chores. Her husband pays for all of the bills in the house. The house is for my aunt, so no mortgage. I can cook before I get to eat. My aunt will serve Kate first. Everything. It's Kate and her son first. 2 days ago, I saw her in the kitchen making dinner for her husband. I told her that she is a married woman and should buy her own groceries, rather than use what is purchased. She told me that she gives my aunt $3,000 every month, which excludes money for bills that her husband pays because she doesn't have time to go shopping herself. I told her aunt said that money is for taking care of her son. She told her that she isn't paying her mom to take care of her son, but gives her extra money if she needs to take care of herself and the home. Perhaps before bringing her son to her mom each morning, she leaves $20 or $30 in his backpack. She also always prepares dinner after 7 p.m. when we have already had dinner and are resting. Her husband gets home around 7:30 p.m. They like to cook, sit, and eat together, chatting and laughing, and I have even caught them making out in the kitchen after 8 p.m. My aunt goes to bed at 6:30 p.m. I complained to my aunt and told her that Kate's son is now 1 year old, so when they are leaving, but she said that Kate is pregnant again and that she would like them to stay for as long as she can get them to. I feel I do all of the work and Kate does nothing, yet eats and snacks freely and makes noise when we are supposed to be resting. Am I the a-hole for asking Kate to leave? So let me get this straight. You made a bunch of decisions when you were younger, and now you're relying on other people to have a house above your head, and you're upset because they happen to be buying their own food, or, God forbid, they happen to be doing things that are independent of you. From the looks of it, you don't exactly contribute anything else to the household, so what exactly are you trying to justify your complaining about? Wife 31F is terrorized of me. 31M does not trust me to be with her alone, acts like I might harm her. What do I do now? A wife 31F is terrorized of me, 31M, and does not trust me to meet her alone. Is our relationship over? This is part of a complicated situation that I am trying to understand. I apologize for my grammar, as English is not my first language. I'm 31M, and my wife is 30F. We got married this summer after being together for 8 years. During our engagement, we rented out our flat to a younger male roommate, 24M, to save money for the wedding. At first, I didn't think much of it, but their friendship grew deeper over time. My wife is very emotional, while I struggle to open up to her because I don't feel fully accepted by her. Over time, this guy began opening up to her, and their relationship became very deep and emotional. She confided in him about her struggles, and he provided her with understanding and support, and vice versa. Subconsciously, I felt emotionally betrayed. I didn't realize my anger was growing, but eventually, fights started becoming more frequent. I would get upset more easily, though I never resorted to anything beyond shouting. I felt alone, like I was planning the wedding by myself. I spent hours organizing and fixing things while she sat in the living room, chatting with this guy about life. Our arguments often revolved around wedding preparations. I admit, my patience with her was at its lowest, leading me to make many decisions on my own, though I always asked for her approval. Here, she felt a lot of her boundaries were broken. Fast forwarding to the wedding, it was amazing. We were both happy with how it turned out, and our guests were impressed and surprised by the event. However, right after the wedding, things started to fall apart. While I felt happy, my wife seemed distant and exhausted. We had a major fight, during which she told me that she felt neglected and hurt during the wedding preparations. She said that I crossed her boundaries and demanded time to forgive me. I apologized immediately and wanted to make things right, but the situation only got worse. She started spending hours talking to our roommate and completely ignoring me. I felt heartbroken. I cried almost every night and began experiencing panic attacks for the first time in my life. Eventually, I asked her if we could have a roommate move out. I sent him a polite message, but he was upset that I didn't discuss it face to face. My wife wasn't happy either, as she saw him as a source of comfort. Despite this, he moved out. We started couples therapy, where I was able to express my feelings of betrayal. Unfortunately, this didn't seem to help. She remained emotionally distant from me, although she maintained contact with her roommate after he left our house. This drove me into a spiral of doubt and insecurity. In my desperation, I looked through her Facebook messages, which I know was wrong. When she found out, she was furious. 3 months after the wedding, she told me that she wanted to break up. She said I would never be a good father to her future children because of my behavior. I begged her to reconsider and suggested that we take some time apart. Now, here we are. She moved out 3 months after the wedding, leaving me alone in the house that we bought together. For 2 months, I gave her space and didn't contact her. After 8 weeks of no contact, I sent her a message explaining how I felt betrayed. We agreed to meet for coffee. During the meeting, she dropped a bombshell. She revealed that she has developed a fear of me. She said that she can't be alone with me, let alone move back in. She's afraid that I might harm her. This fear apparently began after she discovered that I had looked through her Facebook messages. Major boundaries were broken. During our conversation, I confessed that I'd been angry and hurt. When I mentioned that I have truly not let my anger go, and if I let my anger, she asked, "Would you kill me?" I was horrified. "Kill you? Are you out of your mind?" I responded, disgusted. "No, I meant leave you." She has refused to meet me before April, 3 months from now. She insists on only meeting in public places and not being alone with me. I am utterly confused about how we got here. She says that her trust is completely shattered, but during our last meeting, she was kind and admitted that she still has feelings for me. However, she seemed hypervigilant the entire time. I have never been violent or threatened her with physical harm. I know I crossed boundaries by checking her social media, but being terrified me? Like I would physically harm her? Feels like a massive overreaction. She also said that there is nothing romantically going on between her and her new friend. I felt like she emotionally cheated. She said that she was in survival mode. Any suggestions? I'm so confused. So I decided to look through the comments for a little bit of summary on this, and one of the things that are listed there actually makes a lot of sense here. You did not open up to her emotionally. You yelled at her, apparently a lot. You violated her privacy, and you isolated her from her friends. Yeah, your relationship is not really going to fix itself, I'm sorry. My husband has been sleeping separately from me for 4 months. Any advice? Apologies in advance if this is long. My husband and I have only been married for a little over a year. We get along okay, and the people around us say they love us as a couple. Thing is, my husband just doesn't spend time with me, or doesn't date me anymore. Our relationship is starting to feel a lot like how it did when we first started dating. He and I were young, and his main focus was on his career. He was pretty selfish, and he basically put our relationship on the back burner because his main focus was on making money, becoming an entrepreneur, going to the gym, and basically just doing his own thing. We only really saw each other once a week. Now, we did live about 45 minutes from each other, but even when I moved to be closer and we were literally across the street from each other, we still only saw each other once, maybe 2 times a week. I didn't really mind too much at the time because we both liked our independence. However, there comes a point where it's like, okay, we should spend more time together. We had the conversation about spending more quality time together, but still we didn't like to see each other much. We had been together for about 4 years, and we ended up moving in together a few months before he proposed. Of course, we spent more quality time together because we lived together. Now that we are 1 year into our marriage, My husband has been sleeping separately from me for the last 4 months. He says it's because he can't sleep well in our bedroom, and he just needed a change of environment. So he now sleeps in his own room/office. The thing is, he is always in that room with the door closed. I work outside of the home, so I'm gone from like 6 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and he works from home. When I get home, he is normally cooking dinner, and I'll sit on the couch and talk to him while he is in the kitchen. I'm exhausted at this point because I live about an hour from my job, but I'll still make it a point to talk to him. Then I'll go shower and I'll come out to eat. He'll be sitting on the couch watching basketball. The thing is, basketball stresses me out with all the yelling and running around. Sometimes I'll sit and watch it with him. Other times, I'll just go into our bedroom to eat, or I'll come out and ask if we can watch something else. He watches basketball every single day, Monday to Friday, and on Saturday, maybe Sunday too. So basketball is always on, and he is zoned in. If I ask him if we can watch something else, he'll just be like, "Oh, this is a good game, I need to watch this," or "Hold on, the game is almost finished," or "I'll just go into my room and watch it, and you can have the living room TV." If he isn't watching TV in the living room, he is either in his room by himself doing whatever, at the gym, or hanging out with his friends. Even on the weekends, he is in that room. He is there right now. Even right now, he is getting ready to go to Houston alone to go watch a basketball game. I wasn't invited. He says he is giving me space because I asked to be alone, but I told him that I need my space when I get home from work because I work in a customer-facing role, and by the time I get home with all of the traffic, I just want to breathe a little, shower, maybe scroll on TikTok for a little, and that's it. Plus, he is home most all days of the week, except to go to the gym and hang out with friends. I think he took giving me space a little too far, to the point that he doesn't ever see me. Plus, he was like this even before I asked for space. I just feel completely neglected by my husband. I try to take care of my body and health. I try to make him laugh. I have started to give him more physical affection because that's his love language. I've asked him, "Hey, would you mind just coming out of the room every once in a while and just acknowledge me? Or can you let me know when you come home from the gym instead of just walking in the house and not letting me know that you're back? Or can you just call me out of the blue every once in a while? I'm always calling or initiating texts with you." Stuff like that, which I feel he isn't asking too much. I don't know what to do. Edit. For the comment who brought up my previous post about being bad towards my husband, I actually wrote that post during my manic episode. I'm bipolar, but I'm on medications, thankfully. I don't think I'm verbally bad towards my husband. Do we argue? Yes. But I rarely curse and scream at him. I can count on one hand when I have in our 5 years of being together. I have a lot of resentment built up from my marriage, especially not feeling secure because there have been plenty of times where my husband has allowed his family to verbally A me, or when other men have approached/flirted with me right in front of him, and he didn't say anything despite me being uncomfortable. I have, for the most part, forgiven him for all of this. We have gone to multiple counselors and laid out all of our issues. Each of them had told us, y'all's issues are normal in these early years of marriage. But it seems like you both know what you want and want to work it out. So, I don't know. Also, since that post, I've gone to a psychiatrist to get put on additional medication because normally the week before my period is when I get extra sensitive and more irritable, angry. It's actually 5 days before my period now, which probably explains why I'm even here. I don't know. I haven't started it yet since it's being delivered now. Not fair to my husband. that I have all of these mental health issues. I didn't even realize I had them before I married them. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!